Hi, Deb. Sorry for the delay. I had to work off of a different computer today. So I think I've got it though. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yep. And Jerry's going to join in from another room here.
Just need to get the claim hosts. Give me.
It's outlined on the calendar. I don't know, but it's outlined on the calendar.
No, I think I love it. Very blessed. It's a good roast. Family. Right. That's good. Okay.
How you feeling, Nick?
I was just thinking, what do you have in store?
I could try a couple new things. Actually. All right, everybody have a couple blocks? Yeah. Good stuff. All right.
So we're gonna actually start, let's see, Deb, are you need a minute, Deb? All right. Well, how is everyone? I was thinking, I have this little twinge of moment where I thought, oh, maybe ego is a little too hard for the class yesterday, but hopefully it wasn't. Hopefully,
Great.
what? Yeah.
And the instruction helped us focus on right muscles and form.
Okay.
That's great.
Well, and I hope, my hope is too that I'm starting at a beginning part so that people then, will stay at the point where, I mean, it's good to try and push yourself, but then if you realize that you're not quite there yet, to come back and to know that even just here, working here and working here is eagle, to then not be in this full pretzel and then to focus more on, let me balance my hips and let me just feel aligned. So yeah. All right. Well, good. Peace of mind. So this morning, I'm just so into this whole new shift into the new season. I feel like we are just blessed with gorgeous weather, and I'm really feeling with this time change and the light, extra light at the end of the day. So today's practice is going to be focusing on shifting into this new season. And I read a beautiful, just little phrase called "Finding the Yoga Beyond Asana." Finding the yoga beyond the asana or asana. So as we move today in and out of poses, try and really take a moment for yourself in between as we move from one pose to the next and really relate it to the shift in season. So thinking about winter to spring, as we transition in between poses, think about that shift of seasons for yourself, energy with it. So we're going to actually start. We've got a few joining us, Deb and I'm assuming Olivia and Jerry. Might not be Jerry. Well, welcome, my friends at home. Thank you for having us in your home. Those at home, grab any props. We're going to be definitely utilizing 2 blocks today. Oh, good. Hi. We're going to utilize 2 blocks. And if you've got a blanket at home, go ahead and grab that. So we're going to start this morning actually in child's pose, wide-legged child's pose. So come first to tabletop to prepare for the pose. Take a couple breaths, fill your belly with breath. Then separate your knees so they come out to the edges of your mat. Really try and bring them to the edges of your mat and then bring your toes to touch. And start to move your seat towards your heels. Walking the hands back. So settle in here for a moment to really feel the breath in your belly. And as we fold forward, melting the heart toward the earth, make a decision if you'd like to support your child's pose this morning by placing a block. You can even use 2 blocks, one under the belly, like this, and one under the forehead. You can bring them to the middle, lowest height. So find, this is what it might look if you're supporting both the belly and the forehead. And it creates a nice space for you. Or if you're ready to melt the heart down to the floor, to the earth, go ahead and do that. And then we'll be here for about a minute. So tune into your breath. And as you tune into the breath, some thoughts for you to reflect on. So we merge from the dark period of winter, return to the budding of new life. So maybe bring into mind these thoughts of spring and the buds breaking through the surface. In our yoga practice, as we shift into a new season, it gives us the opportunity to restore ourselves physically and energetically. So in today's practice, we're going to be doing some twists and we're going to be doing some poses to help us ground and root. The twists help us to unwind and cleanse. So kind of thinking about a spring cleaning, a spring cleansing. But then countering that with poses to help us focus on steadiness and presence. To help us reflect, help us prepare to renew, and help us transition into this new season. So when we're moving through a transition from one yoga pose to the next, as I mentioned, think about this transition from winter to spring. Linger a little bit in the moments. in between poses, and in those lingering moments, encourage yourself to move mindfully, to slow down, to find the yoga beyond the asana. So maybe bring your arms out in front of you and bring the palms together in prayer pose. And either stay there or maybe bend at the elbows and bring that prayer over the head. And set your intention. What are you bringing back to life? Or how will you welcome the light back in? What do you want to focus on to shift into this new season? Just take a couple moments here in reverse prayer. Soften the shoulders. Breathe into the belly. Maybe allow if there's any clenching happening in the glutes or the hips, allow those areas to soften. And then release that reverse prayer down to the floor. Start to walk the hands back under you so that we're sitting on our heels. If you need to support that by placing a couple blocks under the seat, or you're welcome to come up on your knees. And we're just gonna be here to open the practice with arms. So come to whatever seat you're comfortable in for a moment. Hands to heart center, eyes soft or closed. Take a full inhale. Hot out. Another breath like that to give yourself a chance to feel being upright again with the head over the heart. And this next exhale will Om. Flickering the eyes open, rock forward to tabletop, and just start to move through some cow and cats to warm up the body. And maybe it's organic, so we'll be here for 10 breaths for you to move through cow and cat, or maybe rocking forward and making a big circle around. So just do what comes to you. Make it organic. Move with your breath. Inhale and exhale through the nose, maybe finding that ujjayi breath where the constriction is in the back of the throat on your exhale. And maybe rock forward, dropping the hips down to the floor. If there's a side that would labor, if there's a side that needs a little bit more attention today, so labor there and work through any sort of tension or tightness that you might be feeling. Just observing the body with your breath and movement. Making the movements mindful. Two more full breaths. And then coming back to neutral tabletop, tucking the toes under, lift hands and knees, pressing back to this child pose squat, and then coming into your downward dog, straightening the legs. Then pedaling out your downward dog, drop one heel and bend the other knee, just working that out. Maybe coming up high on the balls of your feet, lifting your heels so you can really get those sits bones moving up toward the sky, and then rock down to plank. Exhale, pushing back into downward dog, and then settling into downward dog, into stillness here. Or so you can really examine, again, your breath here and making any micro adjustments. You're rocking to plank, you rock to plank, and then push back, then you get a sense of that direct distance between your hands and your feet. Should be able to rock between the two without having to adjust. And then come into downward dog. We're gonna inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog, lift it up as high as you can. Don't worry about leveling the hips, just lift it up, really stretch, and draw that right knee into the chest. Then step it forward so you can come to your low lunge. If you need a little help getting that right foot forward, go ahead and pick it up, move it forward so that you can find full extension in the left leg, bending in the right knee. Modify with blocks as you need to. So framing that right foot with the blocks at the middle height really helps to keep the chest open and lifted. And then we're going to drop that left knee down, uncurl the toe, deepen, bring your fingertips, interlace them, and bring to your right thigh. So you're lifting in the chest, drawing shoulders away from ears. And then I want you to draw this left hip. It's in front of the knee. See if you can draw that down toward the earth, getting a deeper stretch in that left quad muscle, in the right hip flexor. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, and then shift the hips back. Float the arms up by the ears. Anjaneyasana. Finding steadiness here and grounding. Pushing through the sole of the right foot, the top of the left foot, and then moving into a twist. Hands come to heart center, twist to the right, then lean the body forward to hook that left elbow with right knee. Stay here or tuck the left toes under and lift that left knee off the mat, still keeping a 90-degree angle with the right leg. So either stay with the knee down, maybe just lift for one, but find your twist. It's more important to find your twist. And then come back to hands to heart center. Drop that knee down, hands come to the blocks, and tuck and lift that left knee so you can right leg back. Full breath in and exhale, push into forward facing dog. Hands can stay on blocks, or you can move them down to the mat. And then we're going to lift that left leg up and take that on the other side. So inhale, left leg, lift it up as high as you can. Don't worry about lifting that left hip up. Hug that left knee into the chest, rocking forward, stepping it down. Take a few moments to find that distance. So the left knee can bend at a 90-degree angle, the right leg is extended, and then drop right knee down. Uncurl the toes, so the top of the foot is on the mat. And you're drawing, so that right hip is in the knee, drawing it down toward the earth. Sinking into the stretch for our left hip. Chest open and lifted. Stretching this front right quad muscle, also by a little bit of the hamstring too. And then shift the weight. Inhale, arms up by the ears on Januyasana, where we're stacked shoulders above the hips. We're lengthening down through the low back, hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Lean the body forward, so you're trying to hook that right elbow with the left knee. Stay here, focusing on the twist, or tuck the right toes under. Lift that right knee. So coming into a twisted low lunge. Maybe it's just for one breath, so stay with that knee down, Leo. Just, yeah, just stay there.
Can't do it, no.
And then come up here, come up and just twist. To keep the body. Come back to center. Right. Pull the left foot, top of the right. Don't lean forward, just stay right there. One more breath in. And out, hands to heart center, and then hands to blocks. Keep that right knee lifted or lifted, and then step back to plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Look between your hands and walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Lift up halfway, finding a flat back. Draw belly in. Tuck the tailbone a little. Float the arms out to the sides. Bend in the knees. Lift the upper body. So coming up with a flat back. Then straightening the legs. Arms float overhead. Hands, heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms around. Dive forward, hinging at the hips. Coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, floating the arms out to the sides, then bend the knees. Lift the upper body, lifting with a flat back, straighten the legs. Arms float overhead, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale. Moving mindfully in between these poses, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway again, finding that back. Bending the knees, this time moving into chair pose. So weight goes in your heels. Inhale, hands to heart center. Sit back in your chair. Lengthen through the low back so you're not arching in the back, and then twist to the right. See if you can hook that left elbow with right knee. Keep the knees together. So check in with your knees. Draw that left knee back and jutting forward. Find the yoga beyond the asana. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale to center. Exhale, forward fold. Let the head hang, hold opposite elbows. Maybe sway a little bit, hanging here like a Raggedy Ann doll. Full breath in and side up through the mouth. Let it go. Coming into the other side, so lift up halfway, find a flat back, arms come out to the sides. Then sink into the knees, bending them. Seat moving toward the heels, bring hands to heart center. Chest is lifted, we're not folded forward, chest lifted, arch out of the back by lengthening through the low back, twist to the left. Hook that right elbow with left knee. Make sure your right knee isn't jutting forward. The knee should be in line. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bringing and massaging our digestive system to help cleanse. Inhale, hands to heart center, straighten the legs, reach your prayer overhead. Interlace your fingers, index fingers pointing straight up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take the side bend to the left. Inhale through center, side bend to the right. Inhale through center, side bend to the left. Inhale through center, side bend to the right. And come back to center. Keep the hands interlaced. Bring them behind your head. Elbows coming out wide. Inhale, lengthen, and especially lengthen through the low back. Arch a little bit in the upper back. Stay here for a breath. Inhale, really try and lengthen. Press into your feet to ground. Maybe arching a little bit deeper. Gaze looking up at the ceiling. One more time. Inhale, lengthen, and arch. And then inhale back, neutral. Bring the elbows in tight. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, drop chin to chest. Inhale, and then on your exhale, lower a little bit more. And we're going to continue this. 6 more breaths to get down to our forward fold. Gaze looking at your belly button. At any point, if you need to bend the knees a little bit, go ahead. The exhale lowers you down slowly into this fold. 2 more breaths to get there. Coming all the way down, resting belly on thighs. And then on your next inhale, bend the knees. Take the elbows out to the sides and lift the belly off the thighs, coming into this modified chair. The next inhale straightens the legs. A little arch of the upper back. And then Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll be here for 5 breaths, maybe even bring one hand over the heart and one hand to the belly. Feel your prana. Feel the rooting down, the steadiness and presence of feeling grounded. Our intestines, our digestive system getting massaged, getting cleansed, and now this rooting down, this steadiness, this grounding to help us shift into this new season. Tadasana, bring your blocks to the sides of your feet and maybe start at the highest. So keep them at the highest for now. We're going to move into revolve triangle. So bringing hands to hips, soften the knees a little bit, and then step your right foot back so that you're straightening both legs and your right toes
are turned to, if you picture 12 o'clock at the top of your mat, your toes are between 1 and 2. Your hips are shining forward and your chest is lifted. With straight legs, I want you to bend in half. Press into the feet. Flat back. Keep your left hand on your hip. And then inhale, right arm up by the ear. Reach forward, find length. And then bring that right hand to the block on the left side. Stay here, draw that left hip back, legs are straight. And if you want to add, inhale, lift that left arm up to the sky, revolving, open to your left. So Mary, keep that hand on the left block. Yep. So you want to, instead of to draw that right back. That one. On the right hip back. So this twist just might not go as high. Stay right there. Stay focused on leveling those hips. Feel the difference? So instead of shifting the hip over, drop that. And then here and then up to that chest. Beautiful. Breathe in. And leave it out. On that one, you two. When you're ready to come out, bring hands to hips so that you're level. And inhale to lift up. Let's find Tadasana in between sides. And just breathe that out. Okay. So revolve triangle. Take a look here. We're here. We're starting in pyramid pose. We've done this pose a lot where we forward to the extended leg in front. So what we're asking the body to do here is to stay in pyramid. We stay here. This hand on the hip, almost thumb into the hip crease to draw it back. We reach with the other hand, so we're getting length to then bring that hand down. My hips hopefully are still level, yes? Yeah. And then this is where you can stay. Find steadiness here. To add this lift, you're opening the side of the chest. You're not drawing that other hip forward. You're not twisting in the hips or the lumbar. All this is staying level. You're finding the twist, and that's the challenge because we're all so tight in the shoulder area and in this thoracic spine area. When we're on our backs doing the thoracic spinal twist, this is the same thing, but standing. But because we're finding balance, it's that much more difficult than when you have the earth supporting you underneath, right? So you have to find the steadiness in your stance. Other side always easier. Find Tadasana. So your outside edges of the feet parallel with each other. Step the left foot back. You've got about 2 feet in between your toes and your heel, but on 2 different planks of wood. So that left foot is not behind the right. The toes are pointing out at about 11 o'clock. Yeah, so they're almost facing forward, but then turning them just a little bit. So find steadiness here to start. Legs are straight, hands to hips. We're going to hinge forward. And it is perfect if this is where you want to work today. Draw the right hip back. Keep your right hand on your right hip to draw it back. Inhale, left arm up by the ear. Find length on that left side. Then bring that left hand to the top of the block on the right side. Keep drawing your right hip back, level the hips. Press into the feet. You can open up your stance a little bit. So Leo, you can move that left foot to the left a little bit to get more balance. So work here, find steadiness. Gaze is looking down. Check in with your hips. Do they feel level? If you're steady and want to add the right arm, lifting it up. I'm going to here. Forward. Then little bit. But that hip stays level. We draw the hip down.
Oh,
So lift the block up. Lift the block higher. Yes. So yeah, if that block, if you move that block on the right side too low and you're struggling, then it's an indication to bring it back up to the higher. Gotcha. Thanks, Mary. Just checking. Back and rooting. Nice job, everyone. Coming out, coming back to level hips and lift up. Step forward, Tadasana. Breathe it out. One hand over the chest, one hand in the low belly. Inhale, close the eyes. Really find your breath here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Move the blocks in front of the mat. Take your feet as wide as your mat and turn the toes out. Bring hands to hips and hinge forward. Bring the hands to the blocks and then bend the knees a little bit. So we're coming into the Balasana squat pose, dropping the seat down. So hands resting in front of you, or if you're stable here, bring elbows to the inside. So hands to blocks helps to lift the chest as you squat down. So this might be where you're working today, right here. If you're here, lengthen through the low back, draw the belly in. Either way, if we're dropping the seat, lengthen down through the low back. We want to try and find a lifted chest. Okay. Yeah. Draw down. One more breath in. And now inhale, come up, straighten the legs, turn your toes in. Now I want you to rotate your elbow creases to the front of the room and bend your elbows like you're making a shelf. Come up high on your toes, lift your heels, and then place your knees in your armpits on that shelf and rock a little forward so you feel the weight dropping into the backs of your arms. You know where we're going? But you don't have to go there. You don't have to go there. Come back up. Okay, come back up to stand and I want you to watch. So crow pose, you can get as much from just doing this as being in the full pose. Do you see my elbows hugging in? We don't want our elbows. So same concept as Bhujangasana's Cobra. and upward dog. So I love, this is my favorite way to come into crow. You come up on your balls of your feet, your heels lifted, I'm bent, so I'm making a shelf. One leg, the other leg. But you don't have to lift a foot off. Practice, so Malasana is a great prep for it. Because then we come up, our hands are in the right position, we're lifting the heels, rotate elbow creases in, bend the elbows, and just try and place your knees on that shelf, the backs of the arms, and then try and just rock your body weight forward. So bend, and then get the knee here. You want your knee to be as close to your armpit. So that's why when we start with straight legs, driving in a little closer. Yeah. Toward the armpit. And then maybe, I know Mary and Sue are pretty close, so you might try lifting one toe off and then the other. So good, Rose. So you want to draw the knees in, and you want to try to look at the difference. And then coming up, you gotta bend the elbows. You gotta bend the elbows to make that shelf. You're right, what's there? Barely hug those knees in and try and draw up to, so coming up on the balls of your feet, like the heels, lifts the knees, try and get closer, and now your elbow creases, up in hands. Bend halfway, make that shelf. You gotta make a shelf. Yes, see, and then draw it up toward the armpit. When you're done playing on the child's pose. Find child's pose. Wide-legged child's pose. And also notice the difference between this child's pose and the very one you did. Breathe in with the body warm. Either the knees can be close together or wide-legged child's pose. If the legs are close together, arms wrap around the legs. More of a rounded child's pose. Find your breath. Breathe in, really feel that expansion in the belly. Breathe in. Watch. And then inhale, rock to tabletop, and then lower yourself. So you're coming all the way down on your belly. And we're going to be doing Shalabhasana and bow pose for our back bend. So start with your arms alongside your body, palms face up, and let your forehead come to the mat. So just breathe into this extension of the neck for a moment. Separate your legs a comfortable distance where you feel release of tension in your low back. It's going to be a little different for everybody. So on your next inhale, tuck your tailbone. Push your pubic bone into the mat. So you're pushing your hip points into the mat to lift your legs up. So your thighs, hopefully your knees and your the mat, and then add the arms, lift the arms. Gaze stays looking at your mat. Try and lift the chest. Lift one rib cage off the mat at a time while lifting the legs up. Breathe in, try not to hold your breath here, but find length. So finding length out through your toes, and out through the crown of the head. Girl, yeah, tuck your chin a little bit, Girly and Nick. So you, and Jackie, yeah. So you want your gaze looking down. One more, really see if you can lift the legs up. Beautiful, and then lower down and turn one cheek to the mat, whichever one comes down. Full breath in. Full breath out. Second Shalabhasana. So maybe interlace the fingers behind the back this time. Arms fully extended, feeling shoulder blades draw toward each other and down the back. Same thing, tuck that tailbone, pubic bone and hip points against the mat, and then inhale to lift up. Or you can just take the same arm position, or maybe the arms fly out to the sides. I'm just leading, but it's your practice. So do what feels good. Not holding our breath, but feeling the engagement in the back muscles here. Breathe. Trying to lift the legs and the upper body at the same amount of space off the mat. One more inhale, and then exhale, lower down, opposite cheek goes to the mat. Starting to really feel a little bit of turning inward here. So Susan, go ahead and relax the arms. Let them drop down. One more breath here. All good things come in threes. So we're gonna do one more. So either Shalabhasana or if you want bow pose. Bow pose, Dhanurasana, you bend the knees. Flex the feet, so the soles of the feet are facing the sky. Lifting up, reach one hand back, wrap it around the ankle, one at a time. Keep the feet flexed. So if we're doing this, if we're coming into bow, you want to try and keep your knees in line with your hips and not let the knees come out to the sides. Keep them in. And you're breathing to lift up, you're pressing the ankles into the hands. And by doing that and lifting the feet up to the sky, then the body lifts. Or Shalabhasana, Leo, just do Shalabhasana again. So lower the leg, that's what we did the first few times. So just lifting the arms, yep. Lifting the legs, exactly now. Into your feet. Knees lift up, and by then lift the chest. So keep your feet flexed. Keep your knees from bowing out, and then it's pulling and lifting up at the same time. Draw shoulder blades for each other and down the back. Lift the chest up. Keeping your feet flexed. So push those ankles into the hands. Push, push, push. Yeah, you see how it lifts you? Yes. Beautiful. Lower down. Turn the opposite cheek to the mat. Everyone's saying, Nick, why did you had in store for us today? All right, shake the hips from side to side. Work that out. Maybe bend the knees and windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Full breath in, full breath out. One more breath in and breath out. And then hands come by the sides of the chest. Press up, lift yourself up, push back. So you're rocking off on one hip and swinging the legs around in front of you. Cross the legs. Move the flesh away from your sits bones. Seated twists. So maybe bring the feet, bring those legs in a little tighter so the feet are underneath your knees. Inhale, arms, reach them up. Take another breath. Really feel the rooting down of your sits bones, shoulders away from ears, and then start to twist to the right, lowering the hands. So and comes back, tenting the fingertips, left palm grazing that right knee, keeping chin parallel with the earth, feeling level in your sits bones. And start to match your inhales with your exhales. If that right shoulder is creeping up, draw it down. And really picture yourself wringing and cleansing your intestines here. As we move into more of the grounding part of today's practice, more of the yin versus the yang, turning inward and reflecting. One more breath in and out. Inhale, arms, bring yourself through center, and then start the twist to the left, dropping the hands down. So the left hand is behind you, fingertips tented. Draw that shoulder away from the ear. So you've got 5 breaths to move into this twist. No need to go deep right from the start. Use each inhale and exhale to find a deeper twist. Ringing and massaging to help you cleanse for the new season, while also finding steadiness and presence here in your seat. One more. Find that your inhale matches your exhale. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, coming back to center and dropping them down. Extend your legs out in front of you. So another twist called Mariachiasana. So we're going to draw the, mirror you. So draw your right knee into your chest and bring your fist and bring it in between your foot and your leg. So that's the distance that you want to have. So your foot isn't right in alongside, it's out a little bit, a fist distance between foot and leg. And then inhale, bring the fingertips around the right shin to lift yourself up. Now focus on your right leg, your left leg, sorry. Flex your toes and push the big toe away from you. Draw the pinky toe towards you while it's flexed. So keeping your knee and your toes facing the ceiling, lift your chest. Breathe in. Breathe out with that beautiful inhale, left arm up. Start twisting. So you're bringing that elbow outside the knee. Take the right hand behind your back. Keep that left leg active, pressing the back of your left leg into the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Feel your sits bones rooting you down. Chest lifted up. So not cranking on the lower part of your spine, but the twist coming from the navel up. One more breath in and out. Come to center, counter twist to the left. And then extend that right leg out. Shake it out a little bit. Windshield wiper the toe, the feet. Shake out the legs. Drawing the left knee in toward the chest, planting the foot. You want to take your fist, make sure it's a fist distance between your foot and your leg. And then interlace the fingers around that left shin. Lift your chest up. Now focus on the right leg. Flex the foot. Try and straighten that leg as much as you can. Push the big toe away from you, draw pinky toe towards you. Feel your chest lifting. Then find length, lifting that right arm up. We're gonna twist to the left, hooking that leg, and then bringing that left hand behind the back. Pressing into the left foot, keep pressing the back of the right leg into the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath in. And out, twisting through center, counter twist to the right. Release that leg, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. If you need to move the flesh away from your sits bones again, sit up nice and tall, legs extended, arms reaching up, hinging forward. Keep lengthening down through the low back. At the point that you're gonna round, drop the hands, soften the gaze or close the eyes. Inhales with your exhale, so maybe adding a count. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Reflecting on your intention. What bud are you looking to grow? What can you leave behind from this past? And what can you look ahead to grow? One more breath in and out. Inhale to lift up, and then grab one of your blocks. We're going to do supported shoulder stand with the block. So bring your feet to the mat. Scoot your sits bones, your heels, lower down slowly to your back. Walk your feet in a little bit closer and then press into your feet and lift your hips up. Slide the block under the sacrum at the lowest height. So again, more of a yin part of our practice. We don't want to, we're looking for support here so that we can ground and be present. So not looking to over effort. So once you've got that block set, then lift one knee to 90 degrees, then the other knee to 90 degrees, and then straighten the legs up to the sky. And your low back, your sacrum, fully supported by the block. So you can settle in here without needing to over effort. Let the arms come out to the sides a little bit, either palms down for support or receive palms face up. Try not to turn your head in shoulder stand, but keep your gaze and your nose facing up. So paying attention to the rhythm of your breath here. And then slowly lowering the feet back down to the mat, press into your feet, lift up off the block and remove it. The knee and just rock from side to side. Drop the feet to the mat and take them the width of your mat. Let your thighs and knees fall toward each other and have them stay like this as long as you're not efforting to have them fall together. If you feel a lot of effort, then separate them to a comfortable distance and stay there. And then press into the feet, lift your hips and lengthen down through your low back to help, and then drop back down to help the back settle. Hands to your belly. Comfortable distance between your heels and your sits bones. So if you feel like they're too close in, and again, creating too much tension for the legs, walk them toward the top of your mat a little bit, but feet are as wide as your mat and in line with the outer edges of your mat. So toes facing forward. And then begin to soften. With each inhale and exhale, letting the whole backside of the body be supported by the earth. Letting the shoulders drop down toward the earth, rolling backwards. If the chin feels higher than your forehead, draw it toward the chest a little bit. Softening the gaze or having the eyes closed completely. Settling into relationship. Breathing in a sense of renewal, of joy, abundance. On each inhale, and silent yourself, I am, and whatever your intention is. And on each exhale, allow your intention to radiate through your body, mind, and spirit. Just repeat that several times. Inhaling, I am. And exhale, feel that intention radiate through your body, mind, and spirit. Allow your breath to deepen. Allowing the breath to be natural and unefforted. Finding steadiness here with each breath, Welcoming in this new season of light and life. Allow your breath to deepen even more. Feeling the work that we did today settle completely, restoring yourself physically and energetically, knowing how much we twisted out of the body, how much we were unwinding and cleansing, acknowledging our steadiness and presence. Start to deepen your breath now to bring yourself to a more awakened state, wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles. Deepening the breath. Maybe inhale the arms overhead for a long stretch, and then drawing knees in toward your chest so that you can roll in one motion to the right side. And then have that arm extending out from the shoulder so your head can rest on. A few breaths here to feel the energy flow from the heart into the rest of the body. Just breathing in that sense of renewal. That sense of spring cleaning that we just did. Ready to face this new season anew. Circling your way up to an easy seat. Crossing the legs, keeping the eyes closed or at a soft gaze, and bringing your hands in front of your heart. A soft bow of the head towards your heart to thank yourself. Thinking back to just that idea of finding yoga in the asana, beyond the asana. Any moments you can reflect on when you really felt that in your practice today. Bringing that into the rest of your day. Find yoga beyond the asana throughout your day, throughout your week. Take a deep breath in, empty the breath all the way in. We'll Om on the next exhale. Om. The light in me sees the light radiating out of each of you. Thanks for playing. Jerry, Olivia, Deb, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. It was fun.
Thank you.
How's your leg feel? Good, good. So tomorrow, yoga and meditation. Just continue this theme of renewal, spring cleaning. Clean up. I'm like about to pull out everything from my living box. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bye, Jerry. Thank you.